So this yoga snack, we'll call it shoulder awareness. So it's not about building strength yet in the shoulders, although doing this will help build strength in the shoulders. So first, we just make a short transition, pausing to be aware of the state of our body in this moment, noticing what kind of energy day it is today. And this will be a short sequence standing on the feet or sitting in a chair. So just notice the needs of your body before we begin. And the choices you make will be based on accepting what's happening in your body in this moment. So the first movements we'll do, if you're going to be on a chair, just keep your feet in Samastiti, this 6 points under both feet, the 2 triangles under the feet. Lift up, keep your buttocks sort of at the edge of the chair so you're not leaning against, so that you can feel your posture uplifted. Or you can do the same series standing on the feet. So like we did last week, whether you're standing or sitting, find your feet and equal balance under both feet. Find your Supergirl legs activating. So lifting up, and this you can do even seated. So when you activate these kind of legs, you're pushing the feet down and lifting the sternum up. You can do this sitting, or you can do it standing. Keeping the sternum uplifted. We're just going to begin by moving the arms a little bit. So we're going to take a breath in, and as we do, we're going to lift the arms either part way up or all the way up. If there's any pinching or discomfort in the shoulder joints, move only as far as you can without pain. So rotate the hands open, lift the arms up and down. We're going to extend through the fingers and at the same time feel like the elbows are a little bit bent. And as you exhale, rotate the hands, almost like you're going to bring the hands behind you, but just bring them to the hips. So you're turning the hands. Inhale, rotate the hands up. And then just pause a moment. So I want you to be aware of a point here. So we have, in English, this bone, it's called the clavicle. And this bone through the chest is called the sternum. And these two pieces connect at what's called the sternoclavicle joint. So where this bone comes in and meets this little divot here. So there's a joint right here. This is actually where your arm begins. This is where the muscles that support the position of your arm are connected. So we want to try to feel this joint move. So we're just going to move the arm forward. We'll put a finger here and see if you can feel the clavicle move forward as your arm moves forward. And then move back as your arm moves back. Keep your feet in Samastiti, legs active, and just moving. Let your breath flow. And then we're just going to keep the arm out to the side. And then we're going to internally rotate the arm. So take the thumb and turn it down. And take the thumb and bring it behind you. And feel what happens here as you rotate and rotate. Notice if there's some crunchy, poppy noises in the shoulder. That can happen with us a lot. Adjust the position of the arm. You might need it a little bit lower. So just see what happens. Notice that this is where the arm is moving from. This is the origin of the arm. This is how we bring what's happening at the end of our arm into the center, the core of the body. Okay? And then let's release and relax that a little bit. And then we're going to try the other side. So find the sternoclavicle joint on the other side. Take the arm out and see if you can find that joint. Move it forward and back. And then notice if there's an asymmetry between the two sides. For example, my left side is a little, it doesn't have as much freedom of movement as my right side does in this part. So I feel even a little bit of tightness here as I move my arm forward and backwards. Whereas the right side, I felt nothing. Right? So just noticing those asymmetries that come in our body for some reason or another. They're not necessarily bad, just notice that they're there. And then a few times, rotate the hand forward, back, and forward, and see if you can feel a little bit of movement here, the sternoclavical joint. Good. And since we're focusing on shoulders today, I want to relax the arm here. We're going to come back to the first side. Recognize that this whole part of the body is really what I consider the shoulder, because this relationship from the fingertips all the way to the core of the body comes through the shoulder. So we're going to say hi to the fingers a little bit. And so we're going to do a motion, it's a simple motion, and we're going to let this motion move all the way up to the shoulder eventually. So you're going to begin with the pinky and move the pinky forward, and then the ring finger, middle finger, pointer, and thumb. So you're sort of making like a fan motion with the hand. And you'll find that if you let the wrist move a little bit, you can move a little bit more. So extending the fingers, reaching out. Then you can invite the elbow to be part of it. And then if the shoulder is allowed to move all the way to the sternoclavical joint, you can create, and you notice, the rest of the body wants to join in as well. So you can keep that straight if you want. You just stop at the sternoclavical joint, or you can let the whole body. Okay. Then relax that arm, and then we're going to try the other side. So beginning in the fingers, pinky fingers to the thumb. And again, just noticing, so this is left hand, always a bit weirder on the coordination for me. And then the wrist. Me, I have a formerly broken wrist, so this side is always a surprise. The elbow, the shoulder joint. And if you don't feel much movement in the sternoclavical joint, you can take a little time, think, oh, wait, how can I move the arm in a way that really, there we go. And if it feels good, you can even release that first arm and do both sides at the same time. And then release and shake it out. Good. And then just feeling the two sternoclavical joints come in together. We're going to open the arms out and close the arms in front of you as much as you can. As much as you can, try to bring the elbows together. And then open, open, open. Sternum lifting, elbows out. And then elbows as close as you can together. And open. So you can inhale in one movement and exhale in the other. It's up to you whether it's inhale or exhale. Because remember, when you're opening the arms back, you're opening the front of the heart, as we say in yoga often. And as you bring the elbows together, you're opening the back of the heart, because we're three-dimensional beings. So whether you're lifting the rib cage this way or lifting the rib cage as you bring the elbows together, it's all the same. Well, it's all different actually, but you can do it either way. It won't interfere with the breath. Good. And then we can maybe give ourselves a hug, drop the head, pause here a moment, just let the breath be more natural. And then we're going to create a little bit of a spiral with the arms. So the samastiti, the triangles under the feet, that's a really important component because it's the spot on which all of our other joints rest. So if we're on the feet in balance, it's a strong foundation for standing. The other idea is that the body carries weight and carries force, often through sort of spiraling, kind of like what we were doing with the arms before. So we're going to reach the arms out now, palms of the hands turned up, and just notice the position of your upper arm now. So your bicep is on top, elbow is pointy part of the elbow is down, inside part of the elbow is up. And try to keep the upper arm just like it is and rotate the hand downward. Because you're all hypermobile, I know you can do this easily. Some people who are tighter have a harder time, but I know you guys could do this one easily. So just feel that. Turn the palm of the hands down, reach out here, and just notice what you feel through the chest, through the neck, through the upper back. You might feel very little sensation of anything like stretching or tightness or anything, but just notice what you feel. And then we're going to bring those elbows down. And we want to keep the sternum lifted up, feet rooted to the floor. And then we're going to bring the arms forward. So the upper arms are still sort of externally rotated. Sternum is up. And then with these kind of hands, we're going to come over towards our wall and extend the arms out a little bit. If you want, so find a position to your hands that feels okay and comfortable for your wrists. So if it doesn't feel comfortable to put the whole palm of the hand down, just put with whatever meets your hands and supports your wrists. You can do fingertips if that feels better, or you can do the ball of the hands or the whole palm down. And then keep this position with the shoulders and just start to extend the arms. So I'm going to move my hands up so they're about the height of my shoulder here. Sternum lifted, samastiti in the feet. And what we want to do here when we have this sort of spiral created, elbows down, that helps to bring a sensation like the shoulder blades are together. The shoulder blades coming together is a little signal that the muscles in our upper back are engaged. And even though we're extending and we're basically leaning on the hands, so this is a plank without a lot of weight on the hands, the force of the body's weight is going through the shoulders and the spine. When I say the shoulders, I mean like the upper back part. So the little muscles of the shoulders don't have to carry the weight here. The big muscles of the upper back carry the weight here. So just pause here, pressing against the wall, standing in samastiti. And notice what you feel on the back sides of the shoulders, sort of where the shoulder blade is located. And there's a sensation that the shoulder blades are not together, but now they're spread wide apart. By pushing the hands out, it pulls the shoulder blades together. And there's a lot happening in the upper back here. And then in the low back, just an awareness here that we're not sort of forgetting our hips. We're in Supergirl legs. So the legs are active, the feet are pushing down. The pubic bone is not pointed all the way down at the floor. It's lifted up a little bit. So there's a little bit of flattening of the lumbar spine. And we're just leaning against the wall. And so this is an exercise you can do with the arms straight, just resting and pausing. If you're feeling a good connection and no pain, you can bend the elbows like you're doing a mini push-up towards the wall. and extend. And it doesn't even have to be that big of a motion. You can bend and start. When I started yoga therapy, this was one of the first and only movements I was doing to build strength. And so if you want to do that several times, do it as many times as you like. Pause the recording. And then when you've done enough, you're just going to come back to standing. It could be face the wall, or I'm just going to face the camera here. So you don't have to shift your position, but just feel the posture again. And we're going to come back to the first position we did, which was just moving the arms. So we'll take the hands down. As we lift, we're going to rotate the palms of the hands. And then as we exhale, lower the hands. So we're going to do it bit by bit. So inhale, raise the hands a little higher. Exhale, rotate the hands. And see if you can feel the sternoclavicle joint participating in this movement. Rotate the hands. Exhale, hands come down. Keep your posture up. Inhale a little bit higher. Exhale, down. So this rotating of the hands is helping to externally rotate the shoulder as you inhale, internally rotate the shoulder as you exhale. Each inhale a little bit higher. Exhale, maybe if it's okay for your shoulders, you can bring the hands to the low back. And inhale, reach up. Palms together. Exhale, reach down. Palms to the back of the hands to the low back. If that feels good, safe, and stable, maybe drop the chin as you exhale towards your throat. Inhale, lift the chin. The chin movement can be small or can be larger, depending on how your neck feels. Then exhale for a moment, pause. Feel the body. In particular, notice shoulders, upper back, neck. Notice if your body feels warm, if this was a lot of effort to do this sequence, or if it feels relaxed and cool. Sometimes the effort we put into a particular exercise is not related to how much muscle strength we're building. It's sort of the focus and attention. So just notice that impact if there is one.